The HAVwear is wrist-mounted to provide a truly personal monitoring experience. It calculates and displays in real time exposure points to inform the wearer of their exposure to vibration and thresholds reached. Sound and vibration alerts also inform the wearer of incremental increases in exposure. To track which tools are exposing operators to vibration, simply press the HAVwear button and hold it next to a HAVwear tool tag. The HAVwear will then log which tool is being used and detect when the tool is being used and for how long. It's that simple. But what is truly unique about the HAVwear is that a company can decide to either calculate exposure points using predefined tool vibration magnitudes or from the wearer's actual wrist vibration during tool use. Measuring actual wrist vibration to calculate exposure points can provide a more accurate representation of exposure from tool use in the field. This personalized exposure protection helps employers reduce exposure risks based on truly representative vibration exposure data. The HAVwear has been designed to reduce the guesswork when managing vibration exposure because the likelihood of applying effective controls to reduce HAV exposure risk is next to impossible without accurate knowledge of operator daily exposure, due to the unpredictability of most work processes across sectors from landscaping to engineering. This is especially concerning as 10% of workers will still contract HAVs-related symptoms in 12 years, if they are exposed to around 100 HSE points, which some consider a safe level. And successful HAVs-related employee claims have increased by 50% over the last decade. It is also widely accepted that manual assessments of exposure in the workplace following regulations will have a high level of uncertainty. Why? Firstly, understanding tool use on projects is either by supervisors estimating tool use and/or by timing actual operator trigger time. Both activities are estimations of overall projects, which will correlate only roughly with ongoing activities. Secondly, to assess exposure using the HSE point system requires calculations using the tool's vibration magnitude. In practical terms, this is either a recommended manufacturer's measurement or a measurement taken of a typical tool use. But a tool's vibration varies greatly between types of use and even between operators. So using an average vibration magnitude will have a major level of uncertainty. Why guess when our system automates the tracking of tool use across all workers with trigger accuracy and measures real-time personal exposure? All these inaccuracies can create poor quality assessments and any ongoing exposure data collation, which risk reduction activities are reliant upon to protect workers' welfare. Later measuring the effectiveness of activities by further assessments will also be compromised by comparing both sets of poor data. So how does the HAVwear and the Reactec analytics platform better protect worker welfare and employers? Each operator uses a personalized RFID card containing their exposure action level thresholds to sign out a HAVwear from a docking station at the start of their shift. The HAVwear device is placed into a wrist strap and fitted snugly onto the wrist. The operator presses the button and holds their HAVwear next to a tool tag of each tool used to track tool use. It calculates and displays in real time exposure points to inform the wearer of their exposure to vibration. It also displays the initials of the wearer and tool currently being used. I'll explain how soon. Exposure thresholds are indicated with the black circle appearing in each colored bar, with the EAV part split into 3 equal parts to alert the wearer of incremental increases in exposure. Sound and vibration alerts also inform the wearer of incremental increases in exposure and action thresholds exceeded. First alert is for 2 seconds when the wearer's personal EAV threshold is breached. The second and third alert is triggered when the wearer's personal EAV threshold increases, with the fourth when ELV is reached. At the end of a shift, the operator returns the HAVwear to a docking station to recharge and transmit data. Securely hosted by Reactec, companies can centrally manage employee access to specific reports, view reports online or by email, and create manager alerts if operators exceed exposure thresholds. The reports include individual worker exposure and related tool use to pinpoint exposure hotspots. Also, over the longer term, the Reactec analytics platform helps manage the exposure of the whole workforce and so impact positively on health management. The reports help with HSE compliance by assessing exposure risks, alternative work methods, equipment selection, maintenance and purchasing policy for replacing old plant, work schedules, and, importantly, to measure the effectiveness of controls to aid design changes. You can also see the performance of tools by reports, measuring vibration trends of tools as well as to check tool usage and redundancy for maintenance. The system supports behavioral change towards HAV risks and involves all duty holders. Any vibration exposure is not safe, and continuous digital monitoring will help expedite risk reduction activities. Also, more conclusive exposure data of each employee offers a more robust defense against employee litigation and to secure the lowest insurance premium. HAV's monitoring just got personal with the HAVwear. Reduce the guesswork to reduce your company and employee HAV's risks.